Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. We are about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
They'll run for the first time here with Brown. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Chargers' all-time passing leader, Phillip Rivers, who's been their starter since 2006, trotting onto the field. And I'll tell you what, he may be just a couple of years from 40, but he can still do it. You look back to 2018, some people were whispering MVP and Rivers in the same breath with what he did in that campaign. Especially impressive in 2 December primetime victories, one against the Steelers, one against the division rival Chiefs. And although things ended not quite how they wanted in the playoffs to New England, Phillip Rivers still feels like he has a lot left in the tank. The numbers a week ago for Melvin Gordon. 16 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Now a pass here, caught by Hunter Henry. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Now McManus for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
To throw, Rivers. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. First and 10.
Here we go. Set. 60 or.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Put up.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
On play action. Now Manning. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. This is Brown on the carry. Right through him.
Boom, bam.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race. motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all of these points back on one drive.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Manning now on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Derwin James.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And right right side. Henry's got it. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Rivers. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Off the play fake here, Rivers. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't abandon the run.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
This one fielded at the 5. And some space here.
Let's go, boys.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. A first down throw here for Rivers. Throw to the right here to Gordon. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for our offense.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Throwing, Rivers. Complete, Hunter Henry with a grab. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. Fighting him off. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. Manning now to throw. Escaping the... And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. It's their quarterback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were losers in their ball game as the visiting Buffalo Bills come in and took it to them. Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. The Packers looking to get that record back to 2-2 if they could take care of business. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Now a play fake. Manning. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now Manning, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. Oh, good move. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season, and the Broncos add on. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing is Manning. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet, not just straight down, but back because they're trying to create enough distance.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And I think the ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Hey, watch the slant.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
54. Record.
From the gun, Rivers. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger 1st down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Rivers. It's caught on the right side. Williams loses the football.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play,
they've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. So the fumble recovery, and now Manning. It's caught, Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. Now Manning again. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Got a man, it's Johnson, end zone for a Denver touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Broncos add on. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. McManus's point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Rivers finding his top receiver, that's Allen. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Rivers on the money, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Let's go.
First down, Rivers. And caught by Henry. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take, catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Didn't knock it free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
And he's got a man open. That's Allen. A Charger first down. Rivers hooking up with Allen.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon.
That's it, baby.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rivers weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And following the pick six, and decent field position and throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's been solid on the ground. He's found some holes.
The gaps that are being created and wedged open. And, you know, we always talk about where the gaps are in an offensive line, and we've named them, right? The A gap between the center and the guards, and the B gap between the guards and the tackles, and so on. They're there. And in today's running game, plays are designed to go to a certain spot, but if you have vision and you see the gap is open somewhere else, that's when the good running backs take advantage.
52 by 52.
Blue draw Corkers.
I'm coming.
Set, go.
Manning now on first down. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Rivers. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. You're just going to pick up a holding call.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Chargers. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And Henry's hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Open man is Cantrell, and he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. To throw, Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38. Rivers on 1st down. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Broncos, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.